Brokeback Mountain begins with a poignant opening that pulls readers into the complex life of Ennis Del Mar, a middle-aged ranch hand who is grappling with the fallout of his past. In the story's present, Ennis wakes up early in his trailer, uncertain about the future as he prepares to leave his current job. The ranch has been sold and he's left with no clear plans. However, the uncertainty is momentarily soothed by a dream about Jack Twist, a man who once shared his life in ways that Ennis cannot forget. The narrative shifts back to the summer of 1963, when Ennis, a young man from a poor ranching family in Wyoming, first meets Jack Twist at a job placement office. Both Ennis and Jack come from tough, working-class backgrounds, each having faced hardship in their early years. Ennis, who lost his parents at a young age, was raised by older siblings and dropped out of high school. Jack, likewise, is a high school dropout with a similar rough upbringing. Ennis is engaged to Alma Beers, and the two men are hired by a rancher named Joe Aguirre to tend sheep on Brokeback Mountain for the summer. While Ennis is new to the work, Jack has done it before. Their duties involve caring for the herd and staying in separate camps. Initially, the men form a simple camaraderie, talking, drinking whiskey, and learning each other's habits. But one cold evening after a long night of drinking, the boundaries of their friendship are crossed. Ennis, initially hesitant, finds himself in a encounter with Jack, a first for him. Despite their deep connection, both men continued to deny and suppress their emotions. Unable to fully confront the reality of their relationship, the encounter is witnessed by their boss, Joe Aguirre, who watches them from a distance through binoculars.
You know, it could be like this, just like this always.
This thing grabs hold of us in the wrong place.
Tension builds as the summer progresses, and by the end of their time on Brokeback, the men are forced to separate, each returning to their lives. Ennis marries Alma and begins a family, while Jack marries a Texan woman named Lorene. Though they both try to settle into their respective lives, the bond they shared on Brokeback Mountain is never fully severed. Over the years, the two men continue to see each other in secret, their connection deepening, even as they lead lives that seem worlds apart. Ennis remains distant from his wife Alma, and their marriage eventually falls apart. Alma confronts him about his affair with Jack, and the rift between them grows irreparable. Meanwhile, Jack, frustrated by the limitations of his life with Lorene, frequently seeks out other encounters, including trips to Mexico, but always feels the absence of the love he shared with Ennis. The story takes a tragic turn when Jack dies in a mysterious accident while changing a tire. Ennis, devastated by the loss, suspects that Jack's death was no accident, but rather a violent act perpetrated by others. Jack's widow, Lorene, informs Ennis that Jack wanted to have his ashes scattered on Brokeback Mountain, but she was unsure of the exact location. Ennis takes it upon himself to visit Jack's family in the small town of Lightning Flat, Wyoming, to pay his respects. Ennis's visit to the Twist family is a painful and revealing experience. Jack's father, cold and resentful, shares that Jack had recently spoken of returning to the ranch with Ennis, but had also begun talking about bringing home another man. In Jack's room, Ennis discovers a shirt stained with his own blood, a symbol of their time together on Brokeback Mountain. Jack's father plans to bury his son's ashes in the family plot, a final gesture that leaves Ennis feeling more alone than ever. In the story's closing moments, Ennis, still haunted by the memory of Jack, pins a postcard of Brokeback Mountain to the wall of his trailer. Beneath it, he hangs the two shirts, one stained with his blood, the other with Jack's. The image is a somber reminder of a love that could never fully be realized or accepted, but one that Ennis will carry with him forever. Brokeback Mountain is a tale of love, loss, and the pain of hiding one's true self. It explores the complexities of identity, sexuality, and the emotional scars that linger long after a person's life has changed. At its heart, it is a tragic love story, one that transcends time and place, resonating with anyone who has experienced the longing for something unattainable. Brokeback Mountain, a story of love, loss, and the struggles of identity.